UTKARSH ASTHANA'S hub, the Wondertainment Zone. Hi guys, this is UTKARSH M Dollurix and you are watching the Hub Tech Talks Season 1 Episode 12. So basically it's the 12th episode of Tech Talks, my very famous series on Hub, the Wondertainment Zone. And yeah, today's Tech Talks topic is that what is the basic difference between Nvidia, GTX and RTX series graphics cards. So if we go on the AMD side, then we have the Ryzen and the Radeon graphics, you know that. On the Intel we have the IRIS XC graphics, but if you go on the Nvidia side for graphics card, then you have two options, RTX and GTX. So many a times people have asked me that what is the basic difference between both. So you see, RTX is the Nvidia's low series graphics cards and GTX is their high series graphics cards, meaning low segment is RTX and high segment is GTX. Now Nvidia GeForce RTX series, we have seen many good games which are made better with the help of it. Like to mention a few, we have Control, the very famous 2021 game. It was a PS exclusive also and came on the PC also with Xbox. And also Call of Duty Modern Warfare, we saw that how just Nvidia GeForce RTX improved it. And also Metro Exodus, Minecraft are some of the eye-opening games which have a good visual impact offered by the Nvidia GeForce RTX series. You see? Now if you come on the higher range, which is the Nvidia GeForce GTX, then also we have some really amazing games which are made better with the help of the Nvidia GeForce GTX. To mention a few, we have Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 remastered editions. You see, if you see them with Nvidia GTX, they are much better in comparison to the Nvidia RTX, Intel Iris Xe or the AMD Radeon graphics. It's much better if you play that same game with the Nvidia GeForce GTX graphics card. Now if you see about some top models in the GeForce RTX series, then we have the RTX 20 series Nvidia GeForce and we have the Nvidia GTX 16 series. These both are good and the best models by Nvidia GeForce in the RTX and GTX segments, low and high. Now the Nvidia GeForce RTX performs and offers real-time ray tracing and AI for an entirely new gaming experience. You see, recently only in CES also there was a new AI NPC was introduced, and it also it helped people to talk to the non-playable characters or NPCs in games to whom they could not talk earlier, but with help of Nvidia AI NPC they could not talk to them, and this was made possible with the help of the graphics card which was Nvidia GeForce RTX only. So you see, even if it was on the low side, then also it's really good. Yeah, of course. Yeah, now you can see that. And additionally, as I have already told you, Nvidia GeForce RTX platform offers real-time ray tracing AI for an entirely new gaming experience. RTX offers stunningly accurate lighting, like shadows, refractions, and global illumination. With more realistic scenes, gaming is more intense and exhilarating than ever before with the help of Nvidia GeForce RTX. Popular titles, as I've already told you, Control, Exodus, these all were made much more better with the help of the Nvidia GeForce RTX series and not the GTX. Also, the Nvidia GeForce RTX has improvised some famous titles like Youngblood and Cyberpunk 2027. You know that these titles are just really great. You might have always seen them and you might be just shocked to know that these titles were made better with the help of the Nvidia GeForce RTX only and not the Nvidia GeForce GTX as many people think. You see, And for this only we have a good example also here from the Nvidia blog. We can see that there's a good example where the Nvidia is saying that why RTX is technically in some areas better than GTX. They have a proper chart for that. Like they have compared three models as the RTX 20 series, GTX 16 series and the GTX 10 series. Now the RTX 20 series is the latest offering by Nvidia GeForce RTX, and GTX 10 series is the latest offering by Nvidia GeForce GTX. So if you compare the top models, basically not sorry, now RTX 20 series is the latest by Nvidia GeForce RTX, but I was wrong, so sorry for that. It's not the GTX 10 series which is the latest, it's the GTX 16 series which is the latest offering by Nvidia GeForce GTX. So if you compare the top models RTX 20 and GTX 16, we have in the Turing architecture, RTX 20 series has that, and also GTX 16 series has it, but if you talk about GTX 10, it does not have it. For the Nvidia adaptive shading, RTX 20 has it, GTX 16 does not have it. Actually it has it, sorry, but GTX 10 does not have it. Actually it's confusing. You might understand it. And if you see about the virtual reality VR ready, then RTX 20 is VR ready. GTX 16 is GTX 1660 or higher models are only VR ready. In the GTX 10 we have the GTX 1060 or 1060 or higher models only have the VR ready feature inside them. Concurrent floating point and TJ operations are there in the RTX 20, but in the GTX 16 also they are there, but not in the GTX 10. Turing Nvidia encoder NVE and C is there in RTX 20. In GTX 16 it is there, but if you talk about the GTX 1650, that is an exception because it is not there in the GTX 1650. Rest it is there in the rest of the GTX 16 series, excluding the 1650. In the GTX 10 also, it is not there, sadly, but it is not because it's an older GTX. Now, if you talk about the ray tracing, it is for sure there in RTX, and here the RTX is much better than the GTX because RTX only is the only Nvidia GeForce graphics card which has that ray tracing inside it, and no GTX, whether it is GTX 16 or GTX 10, has it. But if you talk about the tensor cores are also here. Also RTX is the for sure winner because RTX only has it, and GTX 16 and 10 both don't have it. If you even talk about Nvidia DLSS, then also RTX is the winner, absolute winner, because it only has it, and no GTX, be it 16 or be it 10, has it. So if you see at some points Nvidia GeForce RTX is better, at some points Nvidia GeForce GTX is better. But if you talk to me and if you see at most of the points and at actually every technology feature about which I have talked, so at every technology feature, as here are 9 of them, everyone is there present inside the Nvidia GeForce RTX but not in Nvidia GeForce GTX. So actually what I said at the starting of the video, that GeForce is the highest segment and RTX is the lowest segment, that's absolutely wrong. By the way, that's the truth and reality, but actually that's very wrong if you say it like that, because now what I conclude from this video, basically I have not ended this video finally and wholesomely, but if you see that what conclusion do I draw from this comparison is that it's very wrong if people say that Nvidia GeForce GTX is better than Nvidia GeForce RTX, though it is more expensive, but that's just nonsense because it shouldn't be that much expensive, because it's at most of the points technically far inferior than RTX, far inferior. So you see, all the 9 technology features were available in the RTX, and from this we can say that RTX is much better as all 9 of these technology features was available in them. But in Nvidia GTX, many were available on the GTX 16 but some were not even available on that. But on the GTX 10, actually most of them were not available. So you see GTX is far behind RTX. From this comparison we can just draw this conclusion only. By the way, now coming further, we have RTX cards have RT and Tensor cores. The GTX 16 series uses the shared Turing architecture to offer huge leaps in performance. So I told you that in some points RTX is better, at some point GTX is better. So now I am telling you about the pros of GTX. So if you see that RTX have only RT and Tensor cores, I have already told you right now only. The GTX 16 series, while at the same time uses the shared Turing architecture to offer huge leaps in performance. Games like Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, the very amazing Wolfenstein successor, as they are making the game, they are using the Turing's concurrent floating point and integer operation and advanced shading, including variable rate shading, to deliver high frame rates with lower power consumption. GTX cards excel at both immersive and competitive gaming, providing great experiences in popular titles like Fortnite, Overwatch, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO as it's properly known as. Gamers can share their gaming experience with a streaming audience with lower overhead and higher quality with Turing's new NVENC technology. And for retro gaming, Turing brings hardware integer scaling for crisp pixel art. Now you see gamers look for a GPU for traditional games. Then if you're a gamer and if you're looking for a GPU for traditional games, you can for sure go and grab a GTX card. But for amazing performance and value, you should go for what you might be knowing till this time at this point of the video, Nvidia RTX, GeForce RTX for sure, man, because it's much better, far better than the old school Nvidia GeForce GTX. You know that, and we all know that. You now see. So from this comparison, now I can finally conclude that Nvidia GeForce RTX is much better. And if you are a pro gamer, then that's a pro thing for you, pro graphics card. But if you are a potato PC gamer or a traditional old school kind of gamer, then GTX is far more than enough for you. So that is how it is. Hope you guys really like this. If really, then please do click on like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Stay tuned on Hub the Wondertainment Zone for more amazing Wondertaining Tech Talks videos just like this one. And now recently only I have launched a Tech Talk Shorts. You can even visit and see the same Tech Talks good gyan and what you knowledge in that shorts in just 60 seconds. So you know that if you want shorts, you can go for the Tech Talk Shorts, and for long we have the Tech Talk episodes only. So that is it. And this is now me, UTKARSH M signing off. Hope you guys really like this Tech Talk episode also, and you will show this love to this one also, like you have shown to the previous ones. And this is now finally time for me to say adios. I will meet you in the next one. Yo. Download the software Hub app today.